You walk into a dealership and it hits you. $7,000 for a beginner bike with a nameplate and some plastic. It's all flash, no value. But there's another side to the market. Bikes that didn't get the spotlight, but absolutely deserve a second look. These are 12 budget motorcycles that are total hidden gems. If you're looking for value over hype, this video is for you. Number 12. CF Moto 650NK. This is the bike most people scroll past until they ride it. The CF Moto 650NK doesn't come from Japan or Europe, and it doesn't carry decades of racing history. But what it does bring is a serious amount of motorcycle for the money. If you're after real-world value, without sacrificing design or performance, this one deserves a closer look. Sitting at the center of the 650NK is a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin, derived from Kawasaki's well-known ER platform. And yes, it shows. The engine's got solid mid-range, smooth throttle response, and none of the awkward delivery you'd expect from an off-brand knockoff. It produces 61 horsepower, which is more than enough to hold its own in traffic or on weekend backroad runs. Looks-wise, it punches way above its weight. The styling is sharp and angular, with bodywork that wouldn't look out of place on a bike, twice the price. A full digital dash, LED lighting, and quality switchgear round out the package. It's clear, CF Moto wasn't just building this to meet a price point. They wanted it to look and feel like a proper street fighter. What stands out once you're riding is the balance. The 650NK comes in at around 454 pounds wet, which puts it right in the mid-weight sweet spot. Light enough for daily commuting, stable enough for highway work. The steel trellis frame gives it a planted feel in corners, and the upright riding position makes it easy to live with day to day. You won't be wrestling it in tight spaces or dreading longer rides. Torque comes in at 43 pound-feet, delivered in a linear, predictable way. It's got enough grunt to feel quick off the line, but it's not twitchy or demanding. For newer riders stepping up from smaller bikes, or anyone who just wants a responsive, manageable engine, it hits a nice balance. Top speed lands just north of 110 miles per hour. But what matters more is how composed the bike feels. Vibration is minimal, and the gearing is set up for relaxed cruising. It's not a sport bike, and it doesn't try to be one, it just does the basics right. Fuel economy hovers near 60 miles per gallon, and with a 4.2-gallon tank, that translates into solid real-world range. Maintenance is straightforward, and parts availability has steadily improved as CF Moto expands its global footprint. The real surprise comes when you look at the price. You can pick up a used one for around $4,000 to $5,000. That's serious value for a bike that looks sharp, rides well, and delivers more than most people expect. Number 11. Honda GB 500TT. The Honda GB 500TT didn't just borrow the look of classic British cafe racers, it recreated the whole vibe. Clean lines, wire wheels, and a single seat. It's a machine that makes you want to take the long way home every time. Powering it is a 498 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine. It puts out roughly 33 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you ride it. The bike is light, nimble, and delivers power in a way that makes you feel involved. It's not fast, but it's engaging in a way modern bikes rarely are. The styling is near spot-on. You get a hand-polished alloy tank, rear-set pegs, clip-on bars, and a solo seat with a hump that looks straight out of 1962. Honda didn't cut corners. Everything from the proportions to the switchgear feels deliberate. This wasn't a parts bin special. It was built with purpose, and it shows. The GB comes in at just under 390 pounds wet, which makes it feel agile and planted at low speeds. City riding is effortless, and twisty backroads are where it really shines. The geometry is sharp, but not twitchy. The suspension is simple but balanced. It rides like a lightweight road bike should, connected, light on its feet, and full of feedback. Torque comes in around 29 pound-feet, delivered with the kind of immediacy only a big single can offer. There's no build-up, no turbo-like rush. Just clean mechanical pull every time you crack the throttle. It thumps along at its own pace, and once you match it, the whole bike just flows. Top speed is right around 100 miles per hour, but it's really happiest around 50 to 60. You're not buying this to race. You're buying it to ride, to feel every gear shift, every corner, every moment in the saddle. Fuel economy sits near 65 miles per gallon, and with a relatively small tank at 3.4 gallons, it still delivers decent range. More importantly, it doesn't cost much to own or maintain. Valve adjustments, oil changes, everything's old school simple. Used pricing is where it gets interesting. Clean examples are typically listed between $4,000 and $5,000. That's collector money for a bike that still works as a daily. The Honda GB 500 TT isn't just a tribute, it's the real deal. A time capsule that actually runs, and runs well. Number 10. Yamaha SR 400. Every rider has a moment where they want to strip it all back. No electronics, no distractions, just a machine and the road. The Yamaha SR 400 is that moment, built in steel. It doesn't pretend to be modern. It just does what it's always done, and somehow, that's exactly why it still matters. At the core is a 405 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine, air-cooled and fuel-injected. It produces 23 horsepower, which isn't going to win any dyno battles, but that's not the point. This isn't a numbers bike. It's a rider's bike. Simple, mechanical, and honest, in a way most modern machines forgot how to be. There's no electric start, no traction control, no ride modes. You get a kick lever, a compression release, and the kind of engine that rewards patience and rhythm. Get it right, and it fires with a single thump. Miss it, and you're starting over. That process is part of the charm. The SR doesn't just let you ride, it makes you show up. Once moving, the bike feels light and direct. Wet weight comes in at just 384 pounds, which makes it nimble in tight spaces and ridiculously easy to handle. The narrow frame, slim tank, and low seat give it a compact feel, perfect for weaving through traffic or carving low-speed back roads. It doesn't need speed to be fun. It just needs a rider who's in the mood to enjoy the ride. Torque lands at 20 pound-feet, and the delivery is as linear as it gets. There's no sudden hit, no peak to chase, just a steady pull that feels natural. It's the kind of setup that makes you focus on your inputs, your lines, and how the bike moves underneath you. Less distraction, more connection. Top speed hovers near 90 miles per hour, but the SR feels best between 40 and 60. That's its rhythm, just cruising, thumping, flowing through the road like it was designed in a slower, simpler era. Suspension is basic, the brakes are modest, and yet everything functions exactly as it should. Fuel economy is excellent, averaging around 75 miles per gallon. With a 3.2-gallon tank, you'll get plenty of ride time between stops. Maintenance is straightforward, parts are accessible, and you don't need a diagnostic scanner to work on it. Just a few tools and some mechanical curiosity. Used models generally land between $3,800 and $4,800, depending on year and condition. It's not fast, it's not flashy, and it doesn't care. The Yamaha SR 400 is motorcycling at its most honest, and that's a rare thing now. Number 9. Honda CB 500X. Some bikes are loud from day one, aggressive lines, big horsepower, tons of marketing. The Honda CB 500X took the opposite route. It just showed up, did the job, and never asked for attention, which is probably why it sat in the background, while riders chase bikes twice the price and half the practicality. Underneath the styling is a 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin that's been one of Honda's most reliable power plants for years. It's smooth, easygoing, and tuned for everyday use. Not the kind of engine that begs to be pushed. It's the one that makes the ride feel effortless. Whether you're pulling out of a parking lot or rolling through a long sweep on a country road, it's consistent, never jumpy, and always ready. And here's the thing, it just fits. The CB 500X is sized right. It sits tall enough to give you that upright, commanding view of the road, but without the intimidating height of a full-size ADV bike. Most riders fit on it comfortably without feeling stretched. The chassis is balanced, the steering neutral, and there's a calmness in how it handles corners that makes it easy to trust, especially for riders who want predictability more than drama. It's not a heavy machine either. At just under 450 pounds wet, it's light enough to move around without effort, but planted enough to feel solid at speed. The suspension, while basic, handles rough pavement better than you'd expect. It's the kind of bike that doesn't punish you for riding it hard or for riding it slowly. It just flows. Torque lands at 32 pound-feet, delivered in a broad, usable spread across the rev range. You never really have to chase the power. It's just there, always ready, which makes city riding smooth and highway work totally relaxed. You won't be hunting gears or fighting the clutch, just twist and go. And when the open road stretches out, the CB 500X will cruise comfortably near 110 miles per hour without feeling like it's straining. Fuel economy is another quiet win, around 70 miles per gallon. Combine that with a 4.7-gallon tank, and you've got real range. Not spec sheet range, actual, usable, ride-it-all-week range. And the best part? You can usually find clean used models between $3,500 and $5,000. That's commuter money for a bike that can actually tour. The CB500X never made a lot of noise, but maybe that's why it aged so well. No gimmicks, no inflated price, just a well-built motorcycle that fits a wide range of riders and never tries to be more than it needs to be. And honestly, that's exactly why it's still such a smart buy. Number 8, Aprilia Mana 850. This one always catches people off guard. You see an Aprilia badge, a sharp Italian silhouette, and then you spot something missing: no clutch lever. The Aprilia Mana 850 isn't your typical middleweight. It's part sport bike, part commuter, and part scooter. But don't let that last part scare you off. What it actually is one of the most underappreciated bikes to ever wear Italian paint. At the core is an 849 cubic centimeter V-twin engine. It's liquid-cooled, fuel-injected, and makes 76 horsepower. That's not lightweight beginner bike territory, it's real power, delivered smoothly through a continuously variable transmission. There's no shifting, no clutch work, and no drama. Just twist and go. For riders who've never tried a CVT on a real motorcycle, it sounds odd, but the execution here is dialed in. You can run it fully automatic for everyday riding, or flip it into manual mode with paddle shifters on the bars. It gives you options without overcomplicating the ride. You still get engine braking, strong throttle response, and plenty of control, just without the hand cramp and stop-and-go traffic. Torque is solid, coming in at 54 pound-feet, and the delivery is instant. It doesn't build up like a traditional gearbox. It's just there the moment you roll on. That makes city riding easy, especially when you're carving between cars or making quick decisions in traffic. But out on the open road, the Mana still holds its own. Top speed is just shy of 120 miles per hour, and the chassis is more than capable of handling it. Wet weight sits around 495 pounds, but it carries it well. The trellis frame keeps the bike stiff in corners, and the suspension, adjustable in the rear, is tuned for comfort without getting sloppy. Upright ergos, a wide seat, and neutral bars make it a solid option for longer rides too. One of the quirkiest and most useful features is the storage compartment where the gas tank usually sits. Pop it open and it'll swallow a full-face helmet. The actual tank is under the seat, giving the bike a lower center of gravity and a surprisingly balanced feel at low speed. Combine that with decent wind protection and a surprisingly refined ride, and the Mana starts to make a lot more sense. Used prices usually sit between $3,500 and $4,500. For a bike this unique, that's rare air. The Aprilia Mana 850 might not fit the mold, but that's exactly what makes it interesting. It's one of the few bikes that truly does its own thing and actually pulls it off. Number 7. Honda NT 700V Deauville. This is the kind of bike people walk past in the used lot and quietly regret it later. The Honda NT 700V Deauville doesn't shout, it doesn't pose, but get one on the road and it immediately starts proving a point. At the core is a 68.2 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin that's tuned for smooth, low-stress riding. The delivery is gentle and refined, ideal for long-haul days or relaxed commutes. It makes 65 horsepower, which doesn't sound wild, but that's never what this bike was built for. It's about momentum, comfort, and showing up every day without complaint. What makes the Deauville stand out isn't flashy design, it's integration. The hard saddlebags are built into the frame, not bolted on. You get clean lines and real utility, all from the factory. Each side opens with a latch, and there's enough room for work gear, groceries, or weekend essentials. It's a true turnkey tourer, but without the size or weight of a full-dress machine. Speaking of weight, it comes in at just under 560 pounds wet. That might sound heavy on paper, but the low seat height and balanced chassis make it easy to handle. The ergonomics are pure Honda. Neutral bars, natural peg position, and a seat you can sit on for hours. Throw in a functional windscreen and you've got real all-day ride comfort. Torque peaks at 48 pound-feet, and it comes on early. That's what gives the Deauville its relaxed character. You don't have to work it to get moving. The power band is wide, predictable, and never twitchy. It's just easy. For riders who prefer smooth progress over aggressive acceleration, it nails the formula. Top speed clocks in just north of 110 miles per hour, but this bike is happiest cruising in the 70 to 80 range. It stays composed, the mirrors stay clear, and the engine hums without effort. Add to that a shaft drive, and you're talking zero chain mess, no adjustment schedules, and fewer weekend chores. Fuel economy sits around 45 miles per gallon, and with a 5.2-gallon tank, It's got the range to match its purpose. Whether you're riding across town or across states, it's ready. Here's the part that seals it. You can find clean used models for under $4,000. Built-in luggage, shaft drive, rock-solid reliability, and real comfort. The Honda NT 700V Doval doesn't care about image. It just quietly does everything right. Got a better sleeper bike in mind? Or did one of these surprise you? Let us know in the comments, like the video, and hit subscribe for more underrated motorcycles that punch way above their price tag. Number 6. Kawasaki ER6N. Every now and then a bike slips through the market without making much noise, but ends up doing everything right. The Kawasaki ER6N is one of those bikes. It's not the one riders dream about as kids, but it's the one a lot of them end up riding the longest. For good reason. At the heart of it is a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, the same platform used in the Ninja 650 and Versas. It makes 64 horsepower, but the real strength is how usable that power is. It comes in smoothly, builds steadily, and never feels like it's waiting to bite. Whether you're just learning the ropes or pushing it through corners, the engine gives you what you need, no more, no less. What makes the ER6N stand out is its approachability. It's one of the few mid-weight bikes that feels properly dialed for everyday use. The upright ergonomics, neutral bars, and reasonable seat height make it immediately comfortable for almost any rider. There's no weird body positioning or weight shift to manage. You just get on, ride, and it all makes sense. It also helps that the bike weighs in at around 449 pounds wet. That puts it right in the sweet spot. Light enough to feel flickable, heavy enough to stay planted at speed. The chassis is tight, the suspension is basic but capable, and it handles poorly maintained roads better than you'd expect from a budget naked. Torque hits at 47 pound-feet, and it's available down low where it counts. You're not constantly downshifting to get the bike moving. It pulls cleanly from low revs, making it easy to ride in traffic or cruise through town. But open it up, and there's still enough punch to keep things fun on weekend rides. Top speed sits just over 130 miles per hour, which is more than enough for a bike that feels best at real-world speeds. It's not trying to be a race machine, it's trying to give you the best possible ride without overcomplicating anything. No ride modes, no gimmicks, just well-balanced capability. Fuel economy is solid, landing in the high 50s, roughly 58 miles per gallon. With a 4.1-gallon tank, you've got decent range, especially for a bike that's so easy to daily. You'll usually find good used examples priced between $3,500 and $4,500. That's commuter bike money for something that performs like a true all-rounder. The Kawasaki ER6N won't steal the spotlight, but that's exactly what makes it such a good call. Number 5. Suzuki Bandit 1200S. The Suzuki Bandit 1200S was never built to chase trends or win spec sheet wars. It was built to deliver big power, everyday usability, and old-school simplicity. Years later, that's exactly what makes it such a solid buy. At the heart of the Bandit is an 1157 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled inline 4-cylinder engine. It's not a high-revving screamer. This is a torque-rich brute that pulls hard from low RPMs and never feels like it's working too hard. With 100 horsepower on tap, it's fast enough to scare you if you want it to, but smooth enough to ride every day without stress. From the saddle, it feels like a perfect blend of muscle and manners. You get a half fairing up front for wind protection, wide handlebars, and a seating position that strikes a great middle ground. Not too sporty, not too upright. It's a bike that lets you lean into corners or cruise for hours without rearranging your spine. Total weight comes in around 570 pounds wet, but it carries it well and never feels top-heavy or clumsy at low speed. Torque hits early and stays strong, with peak output at 81 pound-feet. That's what gives the Bandit its freight train feel. You can roll on the throttle in just about any gear and get solid, no-nonsense acceleration. It's the kind of power band that makes shifting optional and riding feel effortless. Top speed is north of 140 miles per hour, which puts it in serious territory even today. But the real magic of the Bandit isn't in how fast it goes, it's how easy it is to ride fast. The chassis is stable, the suspension is plush but controlled, and the brakes, while simple, do the job with confidence. Fuel economy hovers in the mid-40s, around 45 miles per gallon when ridden moderate. With a 5.3-gallon tank, it's got enough range to make it a practical long-haul option. And because it's mechanically straightforward, it's one of those bikes you can actually wrench on in your own garage. Used prices typically land between $3,000 and $4,500, which is a steal for this bike. The Suzuki Bandit 1200S doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. It's quick, reliable, comfortable, and always ready to go. Number 4. MZ Scorpion. Built in Germany, powered by a Japanese engine, styled by Brits, and priced like a leftover, the MZ Scorpion is one of the most unexpectedly competent motorcycles you've probably never heard of. Under the tank is a 498 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine, sourced from Yamaha, the same bulletproof unit used in the XT500 series. It puts out 48 horsepower, but what really makes it shine is the delivery. It's punchy, torquey, and has that unmistakable single-cylinder character that makes every twist of the throttle feel connected. The chassis is where things get interesting. Designed by British firm Seymour Powell, the frame is a lightweight perimeter-style setup that gives the Scorpion sharp geometry and real handling chops. Wet weight sits just under 385 pounds, making it flickable, responsive, and genuinely fun to ride. This isn't some clunky budget commuter. It's a proper lightweight road tool, with handling far above its pay grade. Torque comes in strong at around 35 pound-feet, and the low-end grunt is what gives the bike its character. You don't need to rev it to get moving. Just drop it into gear and let it pull. It's the kind of setup that makes tight roads and twisty back lanes feel like a playground, without needing triple-digit speeds to have fun. Top speed hovers around 105 miles per hour, which is more than respectable for a big single. But this bike isn't about chasing high speeds. It's about momentum, rhythm, and engagement. Ride it right, and it rewards smooth inputs and smart lines more than sheer aggression. The styling is simple but functional, with just enough fairing to cut wind and keep weight down. There's a distinct European vibe to the design. Clean, utilitarian, but with a certain confidence, and while it never became a sales hit, that just makes it more of a hidden gem today. Fuel economy lands in the high 60s, roughly 68 miles per gallon. Pair that with a 4.2-gallon tank, and you've got real-world range that works for both commuting and weekend runs. Maintenance is minimal, and thanks to Yamaha parts compatibility, sourcing key components is far easier than the badge suggests. The pricing? That's where it gets even better. You'll typically find the MZ Scorpion listed between $3,000 and $4,200 for a lightweight sports single with real engineering credibility and standout handling. It's an overlooked bargain. The MZ Scorpion doesn't chase trends, it just delivers where it counts. Number 3. Suzuki GS 500F. The Suzuki GS 500F, not particularly fast, and definitely not the kind of bike that gets Instagram likes, but ask anyone who's owned one, and you'll hear the same thing. It just works. Powering the GS is a 487 cubic centimeter Air, an oil-cooled parallel twin. It pushes out 47 horsepower, which may not sound like much until you realize how usable it is. The engine is tuned for smooth, low-end pull, ideal for city riding, highway cruising, and everything in between. It's friendly, predictable, and absolutely bulletproof. What gives the GS 500F its identity is the full fairing. Unlike its naked sibling, the F version adds wind protection and a more finished look. But underneath, it's the same rugged platform Suzuki had been refining for over a decade. And that's the appeal. It's simple, proven, and incredibly cheap to keep on the road. Weight comes in at 448 pounds wet, which puts it right in that middleweight sweet spot. Light enough for newer riders, stable enough to handle higher speeds without twitchiness. The chassis is steel, the geometry conservative, but it all works together to create a ride that's calm, stable, and confidence-inspiring. Torque peaks at 28 pound-feet, and while it won't pin you back in the seat, it does exactly what you ask it to. Roll on gently in traffic? No problem. Need to overtake at 60? It's ready. It's not about drama, it's about delivery. That's what makes it such a reliable daily and a solid beginner's platform. Top speed lands near 110 miles per hour, which is more than enough for real-world use. The 5-speed gearbox is geared smartly, and the engine settles into a steady rhythm at highway pace. It won't buzz your hands numb or feel strained at cruising speeds. It's just composed. Fuel economy is excellent, averaging 60 miles per gallon. Combine that with a 5.3-gallon tank, and you've got real touring range from a budget commuter. Maintenance is simple. Valve checks are spaced out, and parts are cheap and widely available. And then there's the price. You'll regularly find used GS 500F models between $2,800 and $3,800. For a fully fared, ultra-reliable middleweight that does it all, that's tough to beat. The Suzuki GS 500F won't turn heads, but it'll never let you down either. Number 2, Honda VT 600C Shadow. Some cruisers try too hard to look tough. The Honda VT 600C Shadow doesn't need to. It just nails the cruiser formula, with laid-back charm, bulletproof reliability, and clean lines that still hold up decades later. It's low, lean, and doesn't make a fuss, but it delivers where it counts. At its core is a 583 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin engine that's as smooth as it is dependable. It puts out around 39 horsepower, which might not sound wild, but paired with the bike's low gearing and relaxed throttle response, it feels right. The Shadow isn't about speed, it's about feel, and it's got that part locked in. The first thing most riders notice is the seating position. It's seriously low, just 27 inches off the ground, giving even shorter riders flat foot confidence, combined with pullback bars and forward pegs. The riding posture is classic cruiser. Feet out, arms relaxed, and all-day comfort. You don't ride the VT600C aggressively, you settle into it. Wet weight comes in around 450 pounds, which makes it one of the lighter cruisers in its class. It's easy to manage in parking lots, smooth through corners, and never feels like it's fighting back. That accessibility made it a favorite for beginner riders back in the day. And honestly, it still makes sense for anyone who wants low-maintenance miles without the heft. Torque comes in at 36 pound-feet, delivered low in the rev range. That means plenty of off-the-line pull and lazy, relaxed cruising at mid-speed. The sound from the factory pipes is tame, but unmistakably V-twin. Throaty enough to enjoy without waking up the neighborhood. Top speed is right around 100 miles per hour, but you're never really tempted to test it. The Shadow's at its best at 50 to 60, where the engine just lopes along and the bike feels like it's floating. Suspension is basic but plush enough for most roads, and the handling, while relaxed, is confidence-inspiring. Fuel economy sits in the mid-50s, around 55 miles per gallon, and with a 3.2-gallon tank, it's got decent legs for local trips or weekend runs. Add to that a chain final drive and easy service intervals, and upkeep stays hassle-free. Prices are a major part of the appeal. You'll often find clean examples between $2,800 and $3,800. That's chopper style and Honda reliability for less than a new scooter. The Honda VT600C Shadow doesn't try to be anything it's not, and that's exactly why it still works. Number 1, Buell Blast. It's called the Blast, but don't let the name fool you. This isn't a fire-breathing rocket or a high-spec sport machine. The Buell Blast is a quirky, stripped-down single that does something few bikes manage. It makes riding dead simple, stupid fun, and surprisingly affordable all at once. At the heart of the Blast is a 492 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine derived from Harley-Davidson's old Sportster platform, chopped in half. It makes 34 horsepower, which is modest, but the torque is what makes it fun. With 30 pound-feet of torque available low in the rev range, it pulls hard enough off the line to keep things interesting, especially for newer riders or anyone commuting in the real world. The Blast was designed as a learning tool, and it shows in the best ways. It's low, manageable, and deliberately simple. The seat height is just under 28 inches, which gives most riders flat-foot confidence at stops. The ergonomics are upright and neutral, with a comfortable reach to the bars and pegs that don't feel cramped even on longer rides. Wet weight is around 360 pounds, making it one of the lightest street bikes of its kind. That means it's easy to toss into corners, easy to maneuver in parking lots, and never feels like it's getting away from you. It also helps that the low center of gravity makes the bike feel planted, even when you're pushing it harder than you probably should. Top speed sits near 95 miles per hour, but the sweet spot is around 50 to 60, where the single thumps along comfortably and the chassis feels perfectly balanced. The suspension is basic but functional, soaking up rough pavement without falling apart. The front brake is a single disc, but with the bike's weight, it's more than enough. Fuel economy is excellent, up to 70 miles per gallon in regular use. With a 2.8-gallon tank, that gives it a practical range for commuting or short weekend rides. Maintenance is straightforward, and the exposed components mean everything's easy to reach if you're doing your own wrenching. The styling? Let's just say it's divisive. Some love the minimalist, funky look. Others think it's a bit offbeat. Either way, it stands out. And honestly, that's kind of the point. The Buell Blast doesn't follow the usual playbook. It does its own thing, and that's what makes it weirdly refreshing. As for the price, you'll routinely find solid examples between $2,000 and $3,000, which is almost absurd for a running, street-legal, beginner-friendly bike. The Buell Blast was never meant to be flashy. It was built to teach people how to ride, and along the way it ended up being way more fun than anyone expected. Every bike on this list earned its spot by doing more than people gave it credit for. If you've got one or think we missed one, let's hear it in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more.